It is 9:45, and the Indie Memphis Film Festival is celebrating a milestone anniversary this week. In the past 20 years, the festival has brought in the best and brightest independent movie makers from all over the world.
But the festival also highlights our own homegrown talent. This week, Indie Memphis will host the world premiere of Anwar Jamison's A Bitter Pill to Swallow. And Mr. Jamison is with us this morning. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
We have talked so much, as you well know, about the opioid crisis in this country.
Yes.
Why tackle a subject like this? Because you've done so many other projects outside of this type of documentary.
Well, several family members of mine became addicted to prescription pills. And this started probably about 10 years ago or more. And at that time, I had no idea that people actually use prescription pills as a recreational drug. I was used to the effects of illicit drugs, alcoholism, but I had no idea that people were really like, I'll take a pill, have a drink, and this is just my drug of choice. As far as addiction, I thought maybe you got addicted to painkillers because you had surgery, but I had no idea that was a foreign concept. So the more I did research and learned about it, it scared me, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was afraid for the people that I knew were taking them. So the more I learned, I just felt compelled to share that with everyone who would listen.
It is frightening to have something that is prescribed to you to help you then lead to street drugs, as it has so many times. So we have a clip that we want to show. Set this up for us. This will just give folks a little peek into the documentary.
Absolutely. This clip is a young lady, Regina Cobb, who bravely shared her story of her son. And he was a 17-year-old high school senior, never had been in trouble with the law, never had been in trouble at school. And within a year, 9 months or so, of taking these drugs and getting addicted to prescription pills, had committed a very serious crime and found himself looking at the rest of his life, maybe in prison at one point. So
all because of the
all because of
addiction,
prescription
the
pills.
abuse.
All right, let's take a look at the clip.
I try to look at it as a blessing because my son was going down like a horrible, horrible path, but 20 years is not what he needs. He needed help. 20 years isn't a consequence to somebody that has never been in front of a judge. That's a life sentence. And I just remember him on the phone and he's like, Mom, I haven't even been alive 20 years.
Wow. A lot of emotions there. So many stories that so many people can relate to. What do you want the takeaway to be when somebody sees your film?
The takeaway that I really want people to get from it is my intent is not to be judgmental at all. That is really coming from a place of love and concern, because there's a lot of people I love who've been affected by this. And when I talk to people, I'm surprised at how many people have stories. Well, yeah, I had that family member, this person, I suspected that. So I want people to know it's not pointing the finger, it's we want you to get help.
We have heard over and over and over that some brains have receptors that like attach to the drug. So it's not really, in so many cases, a choice to go down that road. Do you explore at all our lack in this country of resources to, combat it, and to help on the mental health portion of it?
Absolutely, that's the sad part. And you mentioned the receptors, that's especially a problem for young people who is affected the most, because your brain is not fully developed until your early 20s.
Right.
So if you start taking them as a teen, it can grow with your brain and completely alter the chemistry of your brain. And that's one thing I'm hoping will come from this also, is more research and more funding because of the research. Because if you don't have insurance, or your insurance won't pay for it, who can afford to pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to try to get themselves off of it?
And it's often a very short period of time that you're in rehab. It needs to be longer.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you being here.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
having me.
sharing your film with us, for sure.
You can see the entire film Sunday. We put the information on your screen. There you go, about where you can see A Bitter Pill to Swallow.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Back in a moment.